Stand up.
I'd like to welcome you to the November 1st work session of the Oconee County School Board. I see we have a large presence of scouts, and I want to welcome y'all. First thing we need to do is we need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Burgess, Mr. Ransom, all in favor? Passes 5-0. Next, we have the Superintendent's Report. Dr. Branch.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Argo. Board members, we do want to welcome Scout Troop 3537 tonight, and Ms. Tiffany George, who arranged everyone to be with us. They're here earning a merit badge, and so they'll be with us all evening. They told me that they anticipated being in and out in less than an hour, so just, we'll try to meet their expectations. A couple of things in the superintendent's report. Lots have happened in terms of just notifications of different things and events since we last met. We've been informed that we have the highest graduation rate in the history of our school system, so I know you're going to hear more about that later. Highest ACT scores in the history of our school system. Our volleyball team at Oconee County High Schools made it to the Final Four. The marching band at Oconee County High Schools won first place for overall band at a recent band competition in Lake Hartwell. North Oconee softball team made a run this weekend all the way to the state championship and came away state runner-up in 4A classification. North captured the 4A region championship Friday night with a big win over Jefferson. Oconee County High School continues good winning tradition as well, so it looks like everybody's headed to the playoffs in the near future. Rocky Branch Elementary's kindergarten teacher Shelley Parker won a Walton EMC Superstar Teacher Award, so we want to congratulate Ms. Parker on that. 3 recent graduates, 2 from Oconee County High School and 1 from North, received perfect advanced placement scores. And life-changing opportunities for 4 of our middle school students who received the REACH scholarship for $10,000 each for college. And of course, we recognize those individuals there. So lots of wonderful things happening in our school system. That's just a small sampling of the great things that are taking place. And so just wanted to share that. And again, excited to have our visitors here with us tonight. That'll conclude Superintendent's Report unless there are any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Branch. Next, we have presentations and discussions. First up is Teaching and Learning. Dr. Claire Buck, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. The November Teaching and Learning Report contains 3 items of information and 2 action items for the November 8th regular session of the board. The first item is an update on the 2021 ACT results. And I, again, want to point out that it is really important that the test results are interpreted in the context of the pandemic and the learning disruptions that we experienced. With that said, as Dr. Branch mentioned, this is our highest ACT score in history. The first chart in front of you shows that Oconee earned a 24.4 score, which is well above the state score of 22.6 and the national score of 20.3. The second chart on page 2 shows the number of test takers for the class of 2021, and this number is lower. You saw the same trend with the SAT results that we shared last month, and again, that could be a result of the pandemic, some of the testing registrations closing, and waiving the requirements for students to take the SAT, ACT for college admission. The third chart in the report displays the rankings of the top 10 districts in the state of Georgia. Oconee County Schools is ranked number 5 in the state among school systems and 3rd among county school systems. And Oconee County is the only system ranked in the top 10 in our Northeast Georgia RESA. I want to congratulate our students, our parents, our teachers, and our leaders for these outstanding results. The second item of information is an update on the 2021 four-year graduation rate. The first chart shows that Oconee County Schools' graduation rate is 98.3, which is well above the state rate of 83.7. The graduation rate has increased from 90.5 in 2012 to 98.3. This is the highest graduation rate in Oconee County Schools history. The second chart on the next page details the subgroup graduation rate. The students with disabilities graduation rate has increased from 66.7 in 2012 to 90.9. Other increases over this 10-year period include the Asian Pacific Islander increasing from 92.9 to 100%, the economically disadvantaged subgroup from 78.6 to 94.1, the Black subgroup from 84 to 95.2%, and the Hispanic from 83.3 to 98.3. The third chart shows the rankings. As you can see, Oconee County Schools is ranked 4th in the state for systems across the state of Georgia, and number 1 for systems with 600 or more students in the graduating class. Again, congratulations to our students, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and I especially want to give a shout out of commendation for Dr. Brown and Dr. Yancey for their leadership and dedication to our students' success. The third item of information is an update on our school improvement visits, and you can see on the report several pictures of the teaching and learning team visiting at our schools. As you know, we do review our strategic plan and the school improvement plans on an ongoing basis. And we do visit the schools multiple times a year to discuss their plans, their goals, their action steps, and to determine how we can best support them. As you know, we do report our goals and our actions on our district website and on Assembly, and all of our schools' school improvement plans are posted on their school website. The first action item for the November 8th Board of Education meeting is the technology surplus list. Through our replacement cycle, we have identified the surplus list for the board to consider for approval. This is attached to the report, and the superintendent's recommendation is for the board to approve the technology surplus list at the November 8th regular session. The second item of information is, the second action item for the November 8th board meeting is the wireless access control. Oconee County Schools posted an RFP for 751 wireless access points on September 15th and closed on October 21st. These devices will upgrade our current wireless infrastructure. And the bid tabulation is attached for your review. Cirrus is the low bidder that met all of the specifications in the RFP. So the superintendent's recommendation is for the board to approve Cirrus Networks in the amount of $351,218.02 at the November 8th board meeting, and these will be paid for using ESSER and E-rate funds. That concludes the teaching and learning report, unless there are questions.
Any questions or comments? Thank you, Dr. Sutton.
Thank you.
Next presentation is operations. We have Mr. Brock Toole. Welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everybody. The Oconee County Schools Operation Division November Board of Education report contains 3 items of information and no action items for the November 8th board meeting. Our first item of information is our energy report. And I want to commend Steve Breitball and his team. Our September energy report shows an on-trend decrease in usage over August. Our next item of information is our lead custodian meeting. The October lead custodian meeting was held on Thursday, October the 14th, and was hosted by the team at Rocky Branch Elementary School. Our custodial teams are being commended for the rigorous work ensuring that our schools are clean for health. We truly do appreciate it. And at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Fred Rickson, our Director of Facilities, for our construction update.
Well, I'm happy to report that we finally have the steel structure in place at Column Ferry, and block work has begun today. So we've actually got vertical progress, and things seem to be moving along well. We've also done a great deal of work at High Shoals Elementary. We finished paving the track this past week. We have completed the handicap ramp to the new play field. We've had some final grading and grassing to do on the play field, and today they began site demolition at the site, at the construction site itself. Lastly, we have the RFP out for the new middle school. We expect proposals in next Thursday, the 11th, and we're looking forward to seeing who proposes and what kind of submittal package they have to offer. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Fred, based on the proposal on the middle school and the response you got so far and the interest, do you have a feel for how many bids you would expect or maybe hope for next week?
We had 11 show up for the pre-bid conference. At this point, the list is down to 6 of people who have submitted their packages and been approved and met the qualifications. I know they're quite interested. I know with the volatile market, they're uneasy and have a lot of questions. But we're very excited. They're asking a lot of questions right now before bid instead of after.
Do you think that all 6 of them will likely submit a proposal?
In my experience, they don't all of them probably won't. But I expect probably at least 5.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you. Next presentation is Student Services, Dr. Dallas Leduc. Welcome.
Good evening, everybody. The Student Services Report contains 3 items of information and no action items for the November 8th Board of Education meeting. The first item of information is our COVID-19 update. As you all know, we stay in regular communication with the Department of Public Health. As of today, the Department of Public Health is reporting that the rolling average in the county of new cases is 4. Our vaccination rate as a county is 59% fully vaccinated, 63% with at least 1 dose. Our 10 to 14 age range has 29.2% with at least 1 dose, and 15 to 19 is 57.2% with at least 1 dose. Board members, you may have also seen recently, last week actually, the FDA has authorized emergency use of the Pfizer vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. So now we are, the next step in that process is the Advisory Council for Immunization Practice is going to make their recommendation to the CDC hopefully this week, and the CDC will offer the final recommendations for that before they become available to that age range of 5 to 11. When that happens, we're prepared to communicate the available opportunities in our community to our stakeholders so they can make a decision on whether or not they would like to do that. The second item of information is school choice. We're getting close to our school choice window, which will open on November 19th. As you all know, parents have the ability to request a school outside of their attendance zone that we have published on the list of schools available to transfer. That window is November 19th, 2021 through through January 21st, 2022. And then the decision letters will be mailed no later than January 28th, 2022. And the third item of information is school nutrition participation. And happy to report that overall as a system, our breakfast participation is up 5.1%, and and our lunch participation is up 11.3% when compared to last October. And that concludes my report. Unless there's any questions.
Any questions?
Now, on the school choice
Yes, sir.
process, do we still only have the one school that's locked out of that school choice process, or do we have others?
Yeah, there'll be 2 this year. So Malcolm Bridge, which was on there last year, and then North Oak County High School.
When those notifications are sent, does that notification indicate that those two are not available because of that reason?
Yes, sir. We publish a list of all the schools that are available for transfer, so you can consult that list, and if the school's on that list, then they're available.
But the reason that it's locked out of that choice option is apparent in that letter that goes out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Jimenez.
Good evening. The Oconee County Schools Communications November 1st Board Report contains one item of information and one action item for the December 6, 2021 Board of Education meeting. First, the information item is our monthly OCS highlights video. First of all, you can see in that video that one item Dr. Branch didn't mention in his report is that he's one of 4 finalists for Georgia Superintendent of the Year. So congratulations to Dr. Branch. Next, it's time for our action item, and this is the OCS academic calendar for the 2023 to 24 school year. And so the superintendent's recommendation is to place this calendar on the table and be voted on at the December 6th, 2021 board meeting. As a recap, our academic calendars are organized around 3 pillars. These pillars, as well as the associated standards of each year's calendar, were determined via community survey and by the Calendar Advisory Committee, and we've kept those consistent for a number of years now. So what are those 3 pillars? Well, first, to start school in August, not July, to end school in May, not June, and balance semesters with 90 student days in the fall and in the spring. And so our goal is to keep 2 years of rolling calendars to best help our families and staff members plan. This calendar before you for 2023-24, just like this year and next year's calendars, have a number of standards included. So first, it builds in predictability, with school starting the first Wednesday in August. It has a teacher professional day in conjunction with an October fall break. A full week off at Thanksgiving for students and teachers. After the December holiday break, there is a teacher workday before students return, and there is a week-long spring break in April. One adjustment is a 1-day winter break in February rather than a 2-day holiday for students and teachers. This calendar simply fell differently, and to ensure our pillars and our standards were met, that one adjustment was necessary. And that concludes my report unless there are any questions.
Just a comment, I noticed that on every month, students get at least one school day off.
Yes.
Anissa, while we're talking about calendars, do you have any more updated information about the graduation plans for this current calendar year, current academic year, or is that still in flux?
I know that Dr. LaDuff is still talking to the University of Georgia, and we hope to have more information shortly.
Anyone else? Thank you. All right. Next, we have a need to go into executive session and we need a motion.
I make a motion that the board will adjourn to executive session to discuss or deliberate upon personnel matters as described on the affidavit to be attached to the minutes.
Ms. Parrish, thank you.
Second.
Second, Mr. Bagley, all in favor?